two talks, and this will be number three. So, what we're talking about today is raising your vibration and how to hold that. But before we get to that, we have a winner from last week's for a free reading, and it is Denise Oldale. So we will contact Denise and let her know, and she can be installed for a reading at her when she wants it. And what else were we going to talk about first up? So there will be another prize coming out from today. So if you do want to enter, just in the appropriate place, all you have to do is write in 25 words or less um, to share why you would like a reading, and you'll be notified by email or by messenger. So, really great to be here again. We're certainly in the thick of it now, aren't we, folks? We're we're in a place that is making a lot of people nervous, and the best thing we can be doing is learning how to rise above that, because there's just no point in getting caught up in it because it serves no one. As we know, we've seen the chaos, the toilet paper wars, and now the food wars. Shelves are becoming empty. Where's it all going? No one's eating it all, and no one's using it all. So where's it all going? You know what's driving this? Fear. So let me tell you a little bit. I don't want to get too much into this part of it, but we need to look at the technical side of our energy system and what happens when fear comes into it. So, one of the most important chakras we have is the base chakra. Base chakra is relevant to us feeling confident, feeling happy about ourselves, feeling confident in who we are, feeling comfortable in our own skin. Um, but what happens when fear is generated around us? The media is very much at fault for this. It's just gone completely overboard. Um, but the effect that this is having on everyone is to the point almost of mass hysteria. And we're better than this. Human consciousness has a great deal of effect on a lot of sensitive people. And if you're watching this tonight, you most likely will be quite sensitive as a person. One of the things I learned when I first got into spirituality, mind you, pre 30 years ago, all I was a furniture maker. I had my own business, and I just kept myself tucked away in my little workshop. And mostly I thought I was happy, but I realized that I had a lot of fears inside me just because of where my life had gone through the earlier part of my life. And of course, a lot of the fears that we hold within us are from our childhood, and that can be another story. But it still represents a level of fear that we hold within our system. With that side of things, I always suggest people to make it their mission. If they want to grow past that, they need to make it their mission to face it and deal with it. Otherwise, it's just going to go repressed again, go into that unconscious state until it doesn't want to anymore, and it will come up to the surface and play merry hell with your emotions, with your choice making, your decisions, your life, how you live your life. And so we don't want that. So back to the base chakra. So what I found over the years is that majority, to some degree, the majority of people on the planet um, have a level of fear within them. Otherwise, everyone would be so chilled out, they'd be meditating all the time, and they'd be calm. There'd be no wars and no um, uh, no conflicts, no judgment. But of course, this isn't the case. It's becoming more so, but we're still not there yet. So, how do we maintain a healthy base chakra? Well, If you want to build muscles, you go to a gym. So you can't just expect to buy a crystal or read the right book and instantly have a strong base chakra. It just doesn't work that way. A lot of people are looking for the quick fix, and the quick fix does not work. So, what do we have to do? We have to exercise our base chakra, not exercise, exercise. And the way to do this is to actually work with the energy of it. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain a little bit more about this, but I'm going to run you all through a very short grounding exercise. But I want to talk a little bit more about the base chakra first. So, with the base chakra, um, when the base chakra is rocked, here are some typical things that go on in our head um, or in our life when the base chakra is weak. So, when the base chakra is weak, what happens is we quite often have fear. We quite can easily have depression. Um, another um, element of low base chakra is getting lost easily, and also not being able to stay on time, not being able to plan things so that you get to a place on time or you do things on time. And it's all relevant because if the base chakra is strong, you're actually in the moment and everything is perfect. Everything is synchronistic. But when the base chakra is out of whack, then it doesn't only affect the base chakra, it affects all of the chakra system. So if you're trying to develop your skills, which obviously most of us are, that are of a spiritual nature, then don't just focus on the upper chakras, work the base chakra mostly, because what happens is, and this is a bit of a no-brainer when you actually start to understand the energy system. If you want to develop your psychic spiritual abilities, then do your utmost to strengthen the base chakra and deal with all of your personal issues. And the byproduct of that will be you'll be very strong and clear in your space. Your abilities will begin to shine more, and the rest of the chakras will open up and stabilize. But when the base chakra is destabilized, it also destabilizes the rest of the chakras because this is our earth connection. And if the earth connection isn't strong, we're we're no different to a house electrical system or a car electrical system. If either of those aren't grounded, then they don't function. Well, we're pretty much the same. We do function to a level, but we don't function terribly well. Now, just while I'm thinking of it, it would be really good because of what we're talking about tonight. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. If it's particularly around what we're doing, so just please pop them up on the screen, and I'll respond to them as quick as I can. Okay. So what else about the base chakra? Base chakra is very relevant in our connection to the earth, obviously. Um, but the funny thing is, we don't just have um, seven major chakras. We have a multitude of chakras below the feet, and we have a multitude of chakras above the feet and above the head and going right out into the universe. The energy system is far more extensive than any of us have realized. What's happening now is what I'm doing through the level one shamanism workshops I run. One of the exercises we do in a controlled space, so in a large room, is to see how many energy bodies we have. So in the old books, um, it's shown that we have seven energy bodies, and that's it. I don't know what was supposed to be beyond that, but I guess that was it for us. But it's not. So what's happening with last week and the week before, I think I talked about the fact that for the last 10 years, the frequency of vibration of our environmental energy is raising. and it's a constant. So what happens is, as that frequency raises and our awareness begins to grow, guess what's happening? We're actually becoming able to see more of the energy system that we didn't realize was there. So it's quite interesting where this is all going. So one of the big things with this, the chakras below our feet, there is one in particular that I get people to target if they want to maintain their energy, their sensitivity, and keep it stable and strong. Um, what I get them to do is to connect with a very deep chakra. It's actually the deepest chakra we have, which is right down at the core of the earth. Now, the earth she's a living being herself, and she has many chakra points on her, on the surface, but she also has one among many inside her. The deepest one is called the earth chakra. It's her core chakra, but for us, we have a chakra point there too, which we call the earth chakra. Now, to explain this one, it's really interesting. I've had, quite a history, I guess, over the years since about 2001 of connecting with a few different First Nation people. First of all, it was actually the Native Americans. I've lived with the Lakota people on Rosebud Indian Reservation, and I've made other connections over time with other First Nation people in the US. Also, I've made connection now, which has been great, with the Aboriginal culture. So for many, many years now, I have known elders, and one in particular. I think many people might know him, Major Sumner Moogie, to his friends, and we've had many talks about the connections between us all. And also now, having travelled to New Zealand several times, I'm getting quite a connection with the Maori elders, and we've discussed many things. And one of the things I've noticed just through talking to these different cultures is that many of their ceremonies, which you wouldn't think was possible, many of their ceremonies are almost the same, very similar. And I'm thinking, I always ask questions. So I'm thinking, how can that be? If they've never met, if these ceremonies go back thousands of years, or at least hundreds of years with some of them, how can that be that these ceremonies are the same or almost the same? And I've realized what it is. It's this earth chakra. When you think of a shaman, it was the shamans that first really connected with the earth at its deepest level. They have this ability to connect on those subtle levels with different levels, different forms of energy, different beings, um, different levels of vibration. And for a shaman, it is their role to connect with the earth and to connect with nature. And so what they did was to connect with the earth at its deepest level, which is down at this earth chakra. Now, if you consider just for 1 minute that many cultures across the planet are doing exactly the same thing, many shamans from many different cultures, and not just First Nation people, but also from the likes of the Druid culture, the Viking culture, which still exists, I've got to tell you. The Wiccan culture. A lot of ceremonies are very similar throughout that. Now, what's happening with this earth uh, chakra is that anyone on the planet has a deep connection to their spirituality, whatever it is, as long as it's heart connected, that earth chakra for them is wide open. So they're all talking to the same source. That source is the earth. So the communication that the Lakota people, all of the First Nation people in North America, and I would say the South American First Nation people, the First Nation people here of Australia and of New Zealand, they've all connected with the same source in their origins. And this is where the ceremonies come from. So this earth chakra is incredibly important to us. Because what happens is when we do connect with that earth chakra, we're actually connecting with all of these different cultures as well. So suddenly, our base of connection to our spiritual essence and to the spiritual essence of all of these other spiritually living people becomes interconnected, interwoven. And so we become much stronger in who we are, which actually opens our abilities up even more. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take it a little bit further than just a chakra system now, because part of this little exercise that I get people to do is also to raise your vibration, which is what we're really needing now. So, but let's explore that first. Why does our vibration drop? What happens to create that? Well, look, I can give you a few little things, and probably not so little. Um, when you think of natural disasters, or even a disaster that, say, a plane coming down, um, this gets played across the media massively. Now, when it's played often enough, people begin to tune into it because they're seeing it over and over again. That's enough to bring people's consciousness down and bring that level of vibration down. Now, I'm just going to stop for a sec because I've got some questions here. Um, so, Andrea says, or asks, I have a fear around opening up the root chakra. What might be some strategies you could suggest for someone like me that wants to move past this? Okay, good question. Um, Number one is to find out why you have an issue with the opening up the root chakra. That's really the first and foremost thing. Um, Instead of looking for a band-aid, it's important to look at the source of where the issue is starting from. And this is the way I work with people. Um, a band-aid will never fix it, and it will, unfortunately, it's only going to continue the problem until you actually deal with it. So that really, the answer would be majorly um, to deal with the issue. Sometimes, and this is the big thing, sometimes you don't know what the issue is, and this happens a lot because a lot of the memories around why, for instance, the base chakra, the root chakra would be damaged, why it's difficult to open, why there would be fear to actually utilize it, comes from our childhood when there can have been trauma. Um, and what happens when there is trauma for a child, quite often it's suppressed and the memory becomes suppressed as well. So then there's just no conscious reference point as to where the issue lies, why you can't open the base chakra. So to me, that would be number one. Um, but what you can do is begin to exercise that base chakra, but just do it gently, um, and do it in a safe space. Um, a good thing to do is to have some nice meditation music going, and look, I've actually got. I'll give myself a plug here. I've actually got a guided meditation CD that is great, and I've look. This is sold all around the world. This meditation is great because it gently helps you to open up the base chakra in a safe environment, wherever you can be on your own, um, and even I could do it over the phone. Help you over the phone with it. So really, number one would be to deal with the issue that's causing it, but number two would be, in the meantime, maybe start to exercise it a bit. But I tell you what, for uh, for that question, I would suggest giving this meditation that I'm going to take you through in a few minutes a go, and just see how you go with it. If you feel like you need to stop, well, please stop. But just give it a shot. We've got another question here. No, no more questions. Best meditation CD I've ever used. This is Michelle, someone over in Western Australia I know. She's just said best meditation CD I've ever used. So there's a plug. I pay her well. um, all right. So raising your vibration. Um, this is we've got Roz has sent in. So Roz Boundy won the first reading from me. So a couple of weeks ago, and she's just given a bit of feedback after the wonderful reading that Matthew gave me as a winning prize from the first week's show. I have felt so uplifted once he showed me. Whoops, keeps moving. Once he showed me how to do the chakra balance technique. So, what I suggest with this exercise that I'm going to run you through in a few minutes is to do it. It needs to be done on a regular basis, particularly now, particularly with all of this fear stuff that's going on around us, and um, this will help to keep your energy stabilized. It it's like putting in a new habit, though. You do need to commit to it, and once you have committed to it and you're doing it a couple of times a day, it only takes a couple of minutes to do too, by the way. It's not a long and involved process. It's not like pulling teeth. um, it will help you once you get it happening on a regular basis. So, okay, so back to raising our vibrations, and what causes it to drop. So I said before, I made mention of the media. That certainly does it. We are quite often hit with the moon energy. So people around full moon time. Um, I mean, you talk to any ambulance officer or fiery or police officer, and they'll all tell you the same thing, that full moon is just crazy time. That's when all the crazies come out. But that's because the energy of the moon has quite a powerful effect on our energy, because it's part of nature and because we're sensitive to that. So um, your energy can, through with this technique, your energy can still be stabilized, mind you, with through times like that. Um, what else have we got? We Other things that can drop your energy is your health. Um, so one of the big things for someone growing spiritually is not just to focus on the spiritual. There's four parts to us: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So if we're going to win at the game, and I use this in the workshop, but I liken this part of spiritual growth to if there's any Trekkies out there and who watch the old Star Trek series with Spock in it, they used to pan to him playing his multi-level game of chess, and I think his was a three-level, but if you consider it's a four-level, and physical's on the bottom, mental, emotional, and spiritual, they're four games within the major game. So we need to be managing those four games really well. And I tell you, if you're following that exercise, then you can't help but win at the game. So looking after your physical body, eating the right foods, finding what's suitable for your diet, emotionally, making sure you do the right thing by yourself, treat yourself well, don't be hard on yourself. Make sure you tie up all loose ends with ex-partners and with friends and family. Make sure everything is clear, everything's transparent between you and them. Um, Mentally, meditation is a big one. Um, Keeping your mind clear. Don't overload it with things. And of course, with the spiritual, is exercises, rituals. I'll tell you, one of the biggest things that holds the Native American culture together is their ceremonies and rituals. I've seen it, I've lived with it, and I do things myself that do the same thing. So it's important. to, if you're going to hold your energy strong and clear of all of this stuff that's going on at the moment, then have some sort of daily ritual. It could be singing and dancing under a moon with a drum. Um, it doesn't matter what it is, but I would suggest, particularly for a strong base chakra, is at least give this exercise I'm going to run you through a go. Now, I've got another question here. I know it's just someone else wanting another reading. That's cool. Um, well, let's see how we go. And also, look, I can do. You can do. I can do phone readings and also phone healings too. So if that's necessary, particularly with what's going on at the moment. Anyway, back to so how to actually raise your vibration. Now, this is a big one because a lot of people flounder with this one. It can be a difficult one to do, to maintain. One of the things I've found, and this is again the technical side of our energy system, there's let's have a look at the different major parts of our energy system. There's the physical body, there's the aura and the chakra system. There is what they call the hara energy, and not a lot of people know about that one. The hara energy is a column of light that comes down from our soul, from source, right down through us, and it anchors in the actual core of the earth. It's not part of that chakra, but it does actually lead into that chakra, and vice versa. That chakra does lead into the hara. What I've found is over the years that this hara energy is really the part of your energy that brings in your soul purpose. So when it's coming in from above, coming into this point in your center, that's great. But up until, so at that point, it's a concept, whatever your spiritual journey is. To actually ground that, your base chakra has to be strong. You can't force the lower part of the hara open. The hara will only open when the base chakra is open. So there we go, back to the base chakra again. So that's the hara energy. That's the bringing soul purpose in and actually anchoring it in the earth, which means you're on track with your soul purpose. The other part, which is what we're going to be working with in a little bit, is our core star energy, it's called. If you want to find reference on that, I highly recommend a couple of books by a woman called Barbara Ann Brennan. She's from the States. Two books, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen. Hands of Light, it's quite a large blue book with two hands on it. And then Light Emerging, which is a purple book with the image of someone, I think they're sitting on or legs folded, and you can see a light beaming out from their center. Well, that's actually our core star energy. So what this core star energy is, basically you could say it's source. When most people think about God, they think about God outside of them. Really, God is within everything, and God is within us. Whatever your reference of God is, and that's work in progress. I think for everyone, we're all searching and trying to understand what God is. So, for wherever you're at and wherever you believe, whatever you believe God to be, this inside us, we have God force within us, and that's what I get people to tap into, which is the highest vibrational energy you can think of. When you think of how to access that, if any of you have seen Doctor Who and the TARDIS is a good representation of what we are. So if you think of our body as the TARDIS, a three-dimensional something that can be touched, can be tapped on, the inside of the TARDIS, which seems huge, is literally relating to our energy system. So we can dive into that energy inside us, and right internally at its core is a light. So how would you like to do this now? Hang on, I've got some couple of questions. How do you make meditation not feel like a chore, or would you suggest something different? Um, I know, Shirley. Well, meditation is only a chore if it's difficult. If it's not difficult, then it's not a chore, I find. Um, Look, the long meditations, I'm not saying you have to do a long meditation once a week or 4 times a week. That's not what's important. It's the trickle charge, I guess you could say, which is what keeps us charged up. And that's a constant short bursts of this. And like I said, 2 minutes. Everyone has 2 minutes to spare. I don't know anyone that can't just escape to the toilet for a couple of minutes and do this exercise. You can do it in the shower first thing in the morning, before you go to bed. Um, I put this exercise together initially for myself, for when I travel to New Zealand or to Western Australia, um, because I'm seeing people full on for 2 weeks, basically. And if I didn't have this exercise, I'd get wiped out energetically. But this exercise holds me together quite strong. And I need a week's holiday afterwards, but anyone would, to just rest and relax. But while I'm actually going and while I'm using that 2 minute exercise, it works perfectly. If you're a practitioner, if you're working with people, not necessarily as a practitioner, but just working with people, you may find you need to do it more than twice a day. Um, so let's see what else we've got here. Chore. I find meditation can start feeling like a chore. Is that just a mindset? I think, yeah, Shirley's always also said, I find meditation can start feeling like a chore. Is that just mindset? I think it probably refers back to if something's hard, um, it's just hard work. Um, and no one wants to be doing hard work. If your base chakra is strong, and this is the major issue, if your base chakra is strong, then what will happen is it'll be a breeze. So my I'd be considering looking at how to strengthen the base chakra through finding out what's bogging it down, what is actually in there that has been suppressed. So that's just something you quite often can't do by yourself. You need a practitioner to help you with. Um, but that's what I'd suggest, because we store a lot of stuff down there in our subconscious area, which is what the base chakra can relate to, if it's weak. And that has a huge effect on us being able to maintain a meditative state. Look, honestly, I've worked with people that have never done any meditation before. They come in and they do a meditation with me. Might have something to do with the magic sage I use, and it is sage. It's prairie sage. Um, but I generally, when I'm running a meditation, I'll do a lot to actually ground people first, which, as I said, if the base chakra is strong, the rest of the chakras are strong. And these people that have come in to do a meditation, that have never done one before, have had wild meditations. They see a lot visually and experience a lot. So it's quite fascinating to see how that works. And I enjoy um, seeing people have an experience like that. So look, let's have a look at doing this meditation now. So if everyone's ready, what I'd like you to do is I'll give you a couple of minutes. I'll keep talking while you do this. So have a glass of water or get yourself comfortable, um, and uh, and I'll run you through this. So one of the things with meditation is to be doing it in a space where you are comfortable. Incense or sage is really good at cleaning a space. One of the things that can affect your ability to have good meditation is maybe the energy that you're doing it in, maybe the room that you're doing in, the energy isn't all that good. Maybe it's carrying a lot of other people's stuff in there. So it might need a little bit of help in being cleaned up. Sage is good for that. Incense, um, sometimes even a makeover, is putting more of your energy in there. But also it can be something as simple as clutter, because clutter quite often represents clutter in our head. So clutter in our room or house can represent clutter in our head. So see if that one relates to you. All right. And Paula just said, hello, Matthew. Hello, Paula. How you going? Um, so here we go, guys. Let's do this now. So you don't have to get into the lotus position or just get yourself comfortable. But what I would suggest is don't lay down, because what happens with the body when you do lay down, it goes into automatic shutdown, and it's not a good place, particularly with a really strong grounded exercise like this. So either sit up or even stand up, because quite often it's a good exercise to do standing up, because quite often when you need it, you're standing up and you're maybe talking to someone, and they're actually in your face, and you can be just grounding your energy and opening up your light and not even feeling what they're doing to you. So believe me, I've done that in front of people, and I'm just smiling away, and it's actually upsetting them that they're not getting to me. So um, all is good. Let's give this a go. Okay, just to start, close your eyes. And as you breathe, make those breaths nice, long, full breaths in and out. And with those breaths, know that you're doing more than just breathing in oxygen. Literally, you're breathing in life force with that. There are many practices out there, martial arts, Tai Chi, yoga, that require good breath techniques. And the reason is you're accessing life force to do this. And this is what we need to access to get a strong energy system. So just imagine with every breath in, you're literally taking in life force, freshening up your aura, your energy system. You may even feel tingling and warmth. That is fresh energy coming in. All right, so with the next breath in, take a big breath in, feel that life force coming in. Now with the breath out, I'd like you to push that life force down through your body, your base chakra, your legs, your feet, and into the earth. And just for a few breaths, keep that same pattern of breathing going and visualization. So the process for this one is breathing in that life force, breathing it out down through your body, your base chakra, your legs, your feet, and into the earth. And it generally doesn't take too long, and you'll begin to feel some sort of sensation going down through your feet into the earth. For some, it may take practice, but it normally doesn't take too much. Okay, so that's not as deep as we're going to go. So go back to your breathing. And now, as you take the next deep, full breath in, pulling it in, and then with the breath out, I want you to drive that life force right down to that earth chakra, down at the core of the earth. Don't worry about distance. Energy moves way faster than you think. It's almost instant. So as you keep breathing that life force in, pouring it down to that earth chakra with that deep sense of connection to the earth, deeply grounded feeling, anchored to this planet. Remembering our soul chose this body on this planet to incarnate in. For it to work at its best, we need to be connected with the earth. And just a few more breaths, anchoring into that earth chakra. Sometimes you get sensations of, when you connect with that earth chakra, of a more overall feeling of groundedness, a warmth right throughout. That means you've connected with it. So from there, once that earth chakra is open, now it's time to get connected to our core star energy. So allow your breath to relax. And what I'd like you to do is imagine diving your awareness into the center of your body, but knowing that we're far more than three-dimensional beings. We're multi-vibrational, multifaceted, energetic beings. So as you dive your energy deep into the core of your energy field, just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper until you feel or see a light, a high vibrational energy source. If you can't see it, that's okay, but generally you'll get some sort of sensation of when you're feeling it. And once you do feel it, what we're going to do now is take control of it a little bit and just take it step by step. Take it in about 3 steps. So first step is to expand that light out from within our core to fill our physical body. And imagine as that light expands out into our physical, imagine that light touching every cell in your body. And if you could look under a microscope at every cell, those cells would be beginning to vibrate at a high frequency. That's great. So now we're going to open it up a bit further. Let's say the human part of our energy field, those 7 major energy bodies, with most people these days expand out to about 4 to 5 meters in all directions around you. So what I'd like you to do is now expand that light out to fill that part of your space, 4 to 5 meters out. You'll get a sensation of where that part of your aura is. It will just seem to settle there. So it doesn't take too long. Once you've been able to expand it out within your physical, it doesn't take long to get it out there. All right, so when you understand our energy system, we're limitless. There are no boundaries. So what I'm going to get you to do now is, when you think of that core star energy, that light that you're radiating out, what I want you to start to do is start to build it up in strength within that 4 to 5 meter space. So imagine you're filling up a balloon with air, but really what you're doing is filling up your aura with light, with high vibrational energy. All right, so on the count of three, what I'm going to get you to do is just let that light explode out in all directions. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Just let it go. Gonna think this is crazy, guys, but I can feel that. Fantastic. And just sit in that space just for a couple of minutes, just to get to know it. Once you felt that, you can't go back. Most people want to try and maintain that. That's cool, guys. So you've actually got a recording of that now on the Facebook site. But if you do need that, I can email that to you. I have a step-by-step of that, and I also have that in different stages on the meditation CD that I've got that I sell. All right, back to planet Earth, guys. How was that? I'd love some feedback from people if you wanted to type in how you went. Dare put wowzer. That's cool. Um, so, all right. So doing that twice a day, what that's going to do for you ongoing, what that will do, it will not only ground your energy, which will bring you more into present day. Here we go, more. Brilliant. The energy blew me away. Adair said. Daniel said, "Aho." I know that one. Um, awesome as always. Donna. Cool. So, Sarah Locke, so warm. I got a full body shiver when we released that energy out. Yeah, that's cool. And that means it's happening. It's really happening. Um, and literally what happens. So let's just take it a step by step, and I'll tell you what's going on with each one of those steps. So opening up the base chakra energy. Lily Hayes, absolutely beautiful and exactly what I needed. Mid moving house. Yeah, you're not wrong. Pardon me. Now, step by step, breathing. We need life force to survive. If we don't have life force, we die, literally. You know what's going on the planet with most people? They're playing energy games and they don't know how to source life force in a healthy way, which is from the earth and from the universe. So they source it from other people. And quite often, sensitive people end up having a target on their back, and we end up giving a lot of our energy out to people who, let's say, are the energy vampire types. And it's not that they're bad people, it's just that they don't know any better. Like some of us didn't in the beginning. So we all learn, we all grow. And the only way is to face up to these things when, if you think for 1 second that you're doing that. Okay, so the breathing is all about bringing in life force. The grounding through into the base chakra, what that is doing, it's helping to keep your, let's say, your energy stable, particularly your physical body energy, and keeping your energy down to earth and not stuck up in your head. Because one of the things, there's a bit of a chain reaction that goes on with the base chakra energy. When the base chakra energy drops out through fear, anxiety, something hits you that's pretty big in your life, like possibly a death or of someone close, or a relationship breakup, or something like that. Um, and so that can wipe your base chakra energy out. Now, what also happens is it wipes your heart energy out. The only other place that can be running the show is the head. Ideally, we should have the head and the heart working together in a balanced way, but that's not always the case. So, when the heart has been damaged, then the head has to run the show. It's the one that goes into full on control, and we know what full on control's like. It's not particularly good. Um, so, opening up the base chakra opens up the heart again, and it brings the head into a more balanced state. Going down to that earth chakra gives us far greater stability, and it's almost like a fuel source for us spiritually, because we're tapping into the energy of all of these other strong spiritual cultures on the planet, whether it be Tibetan monks, Thai forest monks, to Native Americans, to the Aboriginal people, the South American Indians, um, you name it. This energy is all the same thing. It's just that connection that we all have if we're doing the spiritual journey down to that earth chakra makes us very strong. So that stabilizes us even more on that spiritual level. And we seem to have words coming out of our mouth sometimes, and you don't know where they're coming from. Well, that can be coming from two places: our guides, which I'll talk about more in a sec. We don't have too much longer, but it can also be coming from our connection to other cultures. And of course, that core star energy, that's connecting you to the highest vibrational energy that you can find. Um, I haven't found anything in 30 years of doing this work. I'm yet to find anything higher. Once you're tapping into that cleanly, then that has a knock on effect. You don't need to even think about protection, because what happens is if you're radiating that light out from within your core, um, then anything of a negative nature just tends to bounce off. It's like two North Pole magnets trying to connect, they just won't. And that's pretty much what happens with anything of a negative nature, including negative people. But you'll find that if you're doing spiritual work or if you're into spirituality, a lot of people have heard about entities and that kind of thing. The only reason they get in is if you've got a weak base chakra and there's been some sort of trauma in your life. So, but we can talk about that another time. Um, let's see, where are we? I've got maybe some questions here. Uh, I often connect to other planets, stars, galaxies as well. So I am connecting to Earth as well as to other sources. I find them anchored when I do this very much. Uh, this is probably a much bigger conversation than 5 minutes or less, but I've done a lot of work with ET energy over the probably about the last 12 years more intensely, um, in channeling and just listening and talking to them. I get visited, um, um, and not physically, although I have certainly heard them, um, and I've seen vague outlines of them, but mostly it's just energetic at the moment. But the words that I get are very clear. So with being grounded, some people might think, oh, I need to be more up here to connect with them. No, you need a strong base chakra energy to be able to connect strongly with ETs or with your guides. So base chakra energy is most important for doing spiritual work. It's the most important chakra. Um, Another question, Dana O'Sullivan, Stevie Dunn, have a listen. So Stevie Dunn, if you're there, have a listen. um, so we're coming to the end. Um, it's been that went so fast. Um, but look, overall, with everything that's going on at the moment, I could go on and on about why I think this is happening and where it's actually coming from. There's no point in doing that at the moment. Um, we're already in the situation, as real or as unreal as it is. But what we have to cope with is the level of fear that's being generated by the media, by the AMA, by governments. And if we get drawn into that, then our energy is going to come plummeting down. So I suggest strongly that you do this at least twice a day, if not more. Um, and it's a good thing to do just if you feel you've been knocked for some reason, because sometimes we're hit just by a drop in human consciousness, and that's where this comes into its own. So very important, very important to do. At least give it a shot. I generally suggest to people do it for 20 days at least. What you will find is if it you'll know in 20 days if it works for you or not. Um, I haven't found anyone it doesn't work for, and I know for sure because I work with a lot of people these days, particularly practitioners. Um, it works for them because they're wanting what I'm wanting, and that's to be stable amidst working with anyone, doesn't matter who, so that your energy is strong and clear for the next person that's coming in. So you're giving 100% of yourself all the time, and that's as practitioners, that's what we need to be doing. Otherwise, we're shortchanging people, and you're shortchanging yourself too. So look, much love to everyone, and one thing I do have to say is I've got to give myself a bit of a plug here for things that are coming up. Now, I know we've got these issues about um, groups. So far, they haven't talked about groups under 10, so or under 20. There's one event coming up on the 3rd of April. It's an evening with our spirit guides. This is at Riverdale Spiritual Centre up in Gawler, and it's normally a great night because I actually do some demonstration work at the end with connecting with people's spirit guides. But I also tell a little bit on how to actually be able to get that connection for yourself. And I did say before we were going to talk about spirit guides. I got to tell you, if you do this exercise often enough, you're going to start hearing them. It's going to happen. It did for me. So all right, so then there is level 1 shamanism, which is on the 25th and 26th of April. Now, this one is a great starting point for anyone doing spiritual work, or even, look, I've had people from the corporate scene come in and do this. If you're working with people and you want to know the best way to work with people that are playing energy games and manipulators, then come and do this course because you'll suddenly know how to deal with them. Also, you'll be able to deal with that part of yourself because we're all have been guilty of playing energy games, and we need to understand more about that so we don't go back to it at all. And so it's important that we learn about ourselves. There was a wise person, well, actually one of my guides, that said to me when I was at a point when it was a crossroads, and I needed to know more about how to speak in public. Um, this is going back quite a few years because I was terrible at speaking in public when I first started. And that guide said to me, know thyself or know who you are. And in that, sounds simple to start with, but really it's about knowing every part of you, not just the good stuff, but where the bad stuff has been generated from, where the pain has been generated from. You deal with that, then you've got nothing controlling your life. You don't have fear controlling your life anymore, and you're free. This makes a huge difference to your energy system, to your spiritual connection, to guides. It is amazing. So, and look, someone's put here, so Michelle's put here, and I've had a lot of people say to me, this is not me just spinning now. I've had many people say to me, level 1 shamanism is life changing because it puts you back in the driver's seat. Suddenly you're in control of who you allow into your space and how to deal with them. So, but we also have a bit of fun on the Sunday. We learn how to feel energy, and learn more about the energy system and the technical side of the aura and the chakra system. So that's level one. Level two then is on the 27th and 28th of June. And with that one, we spend one day inside learning and one day out in the forest. The whole day is out in the forest. And I get you talking to plants, and plants talk back. So it's a great exercise in opening up those finer senses. And we don't just talk to plants, we talk to many different beings in a forest. Forest is an amazing place to communicate on a spiritual level because there's so much there. So, highly suggest you look into those. You can have a look on the website or on the Facebook site. On Facebook, it's Matthew Greenwood Spiritual Journeys, and the website is Greenwood Spiritual Journeys. So, have a look. If you want to talk to me, happy for you to give me a ring. We can discuss things over the phone. If you've got any questions, I'm here. Um, so I think that's it, guys. Um, can't think of anything more. If you do have any questions, I actually have the day off tomorrow. So if you did want to throw me a question over the phone, I'm happy to answer. Um, as long as it's not too long, but I'm happy to answer one question or two. 0410 Thanks, guys. And I'll see you next time.